Hello. We are with Jeff Baxter, who is from Mill Creek, Washington, who is a mortgage advisor with Guild Mortgage. Mr. Baxter, if a young couple want to buy a house and aren't sure where to begin, how do they get started? What is the service that you can provide for them?
That's a great question. And I think that the first thing they need to do is they need to talk to a lender. Before they talk to a real estate agent, you need to sit down, talk to your lender, and we need to find out what your opportunities are. Are there things on your credit report that we need to look at and fix? And I'll tell you, quite honestly, a lot of times I'll talk to a first-time buyer. Maybe they are thinking about buying a new car, or they have very expensive car payments, and that can really impact the home that they can get. So I'll sit down and talk with them, and if we need to do things to help their credit score, we can do that too.
What are the top 2 or 3 things that people need to know?
That's a great question. So things that people should know that they don't know. A lot of times people will say, I don't want you to pull my credit. I just want to get an idea of what you can do for me. And you know what? Pulling your mortgage credit's actually okay. It doesn't impact you like your consumer credit score, which can actually impact you every time you go to Best Buy or a car lot or someplace to have your credit pulled. A lot of times we need to do that to see what's on your credit report that we might need to fix. Another thing that people don't know is interest rates are important, but don't chase the lowest interest rate, because you may end up with higher costs, and you may end up with poor service, and you may end up with a terrible servicer, the people that actually service your loan, where you end up with a nightmare. So when you're looking for what I call the Nordstrom of consumer lending and servicing, definitely you want to give me a call.
Is that something they can do on their own? Or is it better to use your services?
Well, the thing about it, if you want to just go online and see what all the rates are being shown, you have to understand that every rate depends on a scenario, and your scenario may be completely different. So many times people tell me that, well, I'm going to go with Chase because they have this 8% lower interest rate, and then 2 weeks later they call me, well, we weren't eligible for that. And they just weren't getting good service. The other thing is they will go online and they'll type in information and get pre-approved online without ever having talked to anybody. Then they have no idea what programs are available and what options are available. And that's why you actually need to sit down and either sit down on Zoom or sit down in person and talk to me, so I can actually walk you through a program that will work for you.
So can people hire you to help them? How do you fit into the process? Can they ask you a few questions? How do you help them through the home buying process?
What I like to do, I never want to just answer a couple questions and then leave and then, have you wonder. Anytime you have a question or a concern, you can call me, email me, text me. I just don't want people going to sleep at night worried about, their transaction or questions that they have that they can't get answered. So I'm a very hands-on person. You're not going to talk to an assistant. You're not going to talk to a junior loan officer on my team. You're going to actually talk to me when you call me. So I love to answer as many questions as you have, because like I say, this is hard. Lending is hard. The numbers are hard. All of it's very confusing. Federal government has stepped in to try to make it more understandable, and it's not. But I'm definitely there to help answer your questions.
Often home buyers are looking at multiple houses, and offers and prices can vary. Can they reach you for some quick math and find out what their best offer is for different houses?
Yeah, every home is a little different. It's funny, you might have one home in the same neighborhood, or even the same city. You might have a home in the same city where you're paying $200 more a month for taxes. Taxes can be a huge impact. So I always tell my clients, if you found a home that you're really interested in and you're thinking about maybe making an offer, or you want me to give you an idea of what an interest rate or what a payment could look like on that home, definitely send me that listing, let me look at it, and then we can talk about it. And maybe there are options where you can offer a little bit more and get a little bit more of a home.
When they do call you, is it easy for them to get a quick turnaround on prices and rates? How easy is it to calculate a what-if scenario?
It's pretty easy to calculate a what-if scenario, and I love to do what-if scenarios because we can learn a lot together. And I love to help educate people, kind of give them different options. So if they say, hey, we're thinking about either this home here or this home located over here, I can kind of break it down for them and let them know, actually this home in this other neighborhood, you might be able to afford a little bit better or offer a little bit more, and make your offer a little bit more competitive. And then also, I love to talk to listing agents when a home is listed, because I used to be a listing agent. I know what they're looking for, and I know what sort of things they want to take to their clients, the seller, to maybe help your offer look a little bit more appealing.
What's a typical story you can tell us about people looking to buy a home?
One of my favorite victory stories, young couple came in, sat down, we looked at, their finances, and everything was good. And I said, okay, you can afford a home at this dollar amount. And they said, well, gosh, that's lower than what we're really hoping for. What can we do? And in this scenario, they had 2 car payments that were way too high, and way too high for somebody who didn't own a home. And I said, well, what you need to do is sell your cars and buy lesser expensive ones. They did that, and they worked on a couple of things that were on their credit. And within probably 9 months, they contacted me again, and they wrote an offer for the home for the price that they wanted, and got a beautiful home. And they didn't settle. And that's the thing I think that was great about that story, is they didn't settle. They got the home of their dreams. And I was able to help them and walk them through to show them what needed to be done to make that happen.
Thank you, Mr. Baxter, for your time today. How can people who are looking for loan advice and information get in touch with you?
Well, you know what? I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. And I just want to let the folks out there know, I want to be your lender for life, not just trying to get one deal and go on to the next one. I want to be your lender for life. So give me a call and let's do it.
We've been talking with Jeff Baxter, a mortgage advisor with Guild Mortgage in Mill Creek, Washington. If you are looking for home buying advice and would like to contact Mr. Baxter, we'll leave his contact information on the screen. Thank you for your time today. This has been Madeline Megan for your local mortgage advice, wishing you a wonderful day.